I know you talked a lot about why you're anti-consumption and stuff, but I just wanted to ask you why you're like that. Why don't you try and consume as much as possible like everyone else? Why have you broken off and formed this separate theory, right or wrong?
Because I think human beings, the way they are, has a lot to do with their genetics, and experiences do play a role, and who you meet plays a role, and the decisions you make. But I think a lot of the time we're just born a certain way, and it doesn't matter what people say or what people try to teach you. You're gonna find your own path. And I think I was just born kind of lazy. I think I was just born without the desire to acquire more needless things. I think I was always like that since a young child. There was no experience, or
Did you have a lot as a kid?
I didn't have a lot as a kid, but I had everything I needed, and even everything I wanted. I mean, for the first 10 years growing up, I lived in a small apartment, not much bigger than this, but I was always just content with, my TV and my friends and my video games and good food, and I was never interested in houses or cars, or it's just because I was born like that, I think. Plus my parents never stressed education, and they did want me to graduate high school, of course. We all know how that ended. What the hell? Yeah, my parents wanted me to at least graduate high school, but I never did because I just sat in class for about a year and didn't do any work. Basically just talked about philosophy and smoked a lot of pot with my friends, and I basically never got around to graduating high school. I basically wasted the whole useless experience, so yeah, it wasn't really wasted. But my parents never stressed it for me to go to university or college. They just wanted me to have a simple life, because I think that's just the way they are. It runs in our family, I think.
Do you think there's anyone specifically that might have made you think this way?
Well, my dad is quite the philosopher, and he's talked to me a lot about death and the vanity of life, and many famous maxims like you don't get to take it with you when you die, your material goods, and how life in this world is kind of meaningless and vain and stupid. And obviously that had an impact on me, but even before my dad talked to me about these things, I was already like that from day one. He just sort of articulated for me what I always felt inside me.
I got one last question for you, for now. How do you think it'll turn out? Do you think there's a hope for us? Do you think we'll be able to find a way to go back to a level that's sustainable?
A civilization that's sustainable because it doesn't, it's not dependent on limited resources such as oil and gasoline. I think human beings will have to learn that lesson the hard way. So I think the only way we're going to get back to a more simplistic agricultural way of life, a sustainable life, a simple life, is by destroying ourselves. It's going to take a hell of a lot of wars, and a lot of resource wars, and a hell of a lot of famines and economic depressions and such, for I think human beings to really get the message, because we're already enduring so much devastation on our environment, and we've already dwindled our resources so much, and still we haven't figured it out at all, that there's an end to our civilization, that our civilization is coming to an end. So I think human beings will have to learn the hard way, I mean, that's the only way that we're going to get back to a primitive society is through is basically we're going to blow ourselves up into a primitive society.